What's up, good people? This is your friend and your brother from another mother, the Reverend Kenn Blanchard. I just got my COVID shot last night. I'm at the National Cathedral with Dr. Fauci looking on. It was a highly publicized event that nobody saw to get clergy in the Washington metropolitan area vaccinated so that they could spread the good word to their congregations. And it was pretty cool. Happened really fast. Didn't happen as palladial as they wanted it to be, but it happened. And now I'm vaccinated. So here's what Dr. Fauci said.
Good evening. My name is Tony Fauci, and I'm the director of the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. I first want to underscore all the important points that were made by my colleague and friend, Dr. Francis Collins. But I also like to spend my couple of minutes talking to you a little bit about the facts and some of the fiction associated with vaccines. How do these vaccines work? I often get asked that question by people who understandably want to learn more about what it is that's being injected into their arm. Vaccines that we have for COVID-19 all have one thing in common. It takes a single protein of the virus, not the whole virus. And that protein gets expressed in different ways depending upon what particular vaccine platform that is being used in the vaccine that you will have. Some have a little snippet of messenger RNA that codes for the protein, the spike protein on the virus. Others are little harmless viruses that have the DNA for that spike protein, that when you inject it in, it makes the protein. The body thinks that it's the virus, but it's not the virus. It's a harmless protein component of the virus. So that when the body sees that, it thinks it's the virus, and it makes a very powerful immune response to protect you for when you do get exposed to the virus. So how do we know these vaccines work? We know they work because they've been tested in tens of thousands of individuals. 30,000 people in the Moderna trial, 44,000 people in the Pfizer trial, and 40,000 people in the Johnson & Johnson or J&J trial. And there's more to come because there are also more vaccine candidates that we're evaluating. A common question that we get asked is, how can you be sure that it's actually safe and effective? And the answer is because they've been tested in tens of thousands of people, and the decision about whether it works, namely is safe and effective, is not made by the administration, not made by the Congress, not made by the pharmaceutical company. It's made by an independent group of scientists, ethicists, statisticians who look at the data and in an independent manner decide whether it is safe and effective. Then that data goes to the FDA, whose career scientists look at it and in association with their own advisory committee make a decision whether or not it should be administered to all of us, myself included. So the answer is that the process is both independent and transparent. Another important question is, but you're telling us that it takes years to make a vaccine. How could you possibly have a vaccine when you just knew the virus was a new virus in January of 2020, and 11 months later, you're injecting a vaccine into our arms? And the reason is the extraordinary scientific advances that have taken place decades before January 2020 2020. In other words, things didn't start on January 10th, 2020. They started decades before by large numbers of scientists who were working their way to the point where we could actually have this vaccine. Let me close by making a couple of comments about some of the myths about this particular vaccine, that we can understand how people can have these kinds of false rumors, but let's address them. We often get asked, can you get COVID-19 from the vaccine? As I just told you, the vaccine is a small component of the virus. It's not the virus itself. So it is impossible to get COVID-19 from the vaccine. Secondly, does it get into my DNA? It is biologically impossible for that to happen. Can it make me sterile? There is no biological reason at all to think that that would happen, and already tens of thousands of people have received the vaccine with no significant adverse events. And then the one that's particularly interesting to me is that no, neither I, and I believe I can speak for Bill Gates, have put a chip into the virus when it gets injected in you. That might seem ludicrous, but there really are things as ridiculous as that that are being circulated. So I want you all to realize that this particular process is very well controlled with the highest standard of ethics. So I want to close by thanking all of the people who've been vaccinated, as well as those who plan to get vaccinated, because what you're doing is not only protecting yourselves, your families, and your communities, but you're being part of the important process of ending this terrible pandemic that has essentially immobilized our country and the world for the last year. We will get through this, and we will get through it by vaccination. Thank you.
And so I believe it's a safe thing. I believe it's a good thing. And even though I had my reservations in the beginning, that's gone. Get your shot as soon as you can so that we can get through this thing so that you can be able to get back into the fight yourself. All right? Thanks for watching.